Electric vehicles are the future, there's no doubt about it. But do they belong in your present? The company trying to make sure that you have an EV in your present now is the Bounce Infinity E1, the first scooter in India to have swapping as a part of the ecosystem. But does it change things fundamentally for you, and should you be thinking about buying one? We'll find out in this video. Caveat, this is still a pre-production scooter. Stuff like the side stand still has to be finalized, the software is not final, so we'll get a sense of what this scooter is, but the actual road test of the final product will only come in about 2 months from now. So it's critical that you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you don't miss that video. And if you like the video, give us a thumbs up and do share this with your friends. And now, let's bounce.
The biggest difference between Bounce as an EV two-wheeler startup and everyone else is that they've been at it for a while. They converted many of their rental scooter fleet, TVS Scooty Zest mostly, into EVs, running an earlier version of this powertrain quite a while ago. Which means huge numbers of miles clocked, lots of batteries swapped. They have a lot of experience. What they built now is a mass market scooter. The motor makes 1.5 kilowatts, peaking at 2.2. The lithium-ion battery is 2 kilowatt hours and top speed is just 65. Not exciting numbers, but this, unlike say the Ola or the Ather, is a mass market scooter.
So the expectation is it's an urban runabout, it's not a performance scooter, although obviously electric motors and the instant torque does give it a little bit of an advantage there. But the label here says power and eco. I would call it moderate and mild because acceleration in power mode is moderate at best, and in eco mode it's mild, and that's not honestly on its own a problem. The problem really with this scooter, and to me at the moment it's a deal breaker even given the fact that this is a pre-production model, is that the throttle calibration just does not work. To Bounce's credit, they do have a month more and software is all that this is, and it's very easy to sort out, but they really should have done it by now, because when the scooter does do predictable things, it's a small part of the experience right now. It should be the entire experience. When it does those things, it's quiet, it's refined, the torque feels nice, and steady speeds like 40-50 actually feel pretty pleasant to do.
What Bounce promises is the convenience of swapping batteries, as well as the option to not pay for the battery at the beginning, substantially reducing your buying cost. Now that the union budget seeks to include battery swaps in their undersubscribed electric subsidy plans, the Bounce idea is even more relevant. So how does it work for you?
So, the whole point of buying a Bounce with a swappable battery is that when you run out of charge, like I have right now, all you have to do is use the app, which I don't have today with me, to find out where I can find a charged battery, and that's brought us to this location here. So here's how the process works. Watch this. So you unlock the seat, you undo your battery, which is the depleted battery, the one that you're trying to swap. You take the connector out. Now this is a 13 kilo battery, so this is the heavy part. But Bounce is saying that some of the places that you will go to will have people to help you with this, but the 24/7 places, obviously you'll have to do this yourself. Now the app has already told me that this is the slot where my battery goes, and this is the slot from where I will get a fully charged battery. So I open the slot, there's a lock on the connector, I take that off, I take this battery out. Now I would love to be able to do this one hand at a time, but you can't, it's just too heavy for it. Slotting the battery in is a little bit of a challenge, so I'm going to have to use two hands. I slot this battery in, I take the connector. Once it's connected, I close it, and it's done. Now the system knows that the depleted battery is now back on the system. It's set for charging for whoever the next person needs it, and now all I have to do is put the charged battery back in the scooter. Once that is done, I connect my connector, and now when I turn the scooter on, full charge. We can ride 50 or 60 kilometers depending on the range you use. We are good to go again. This is roughly the amount of time you take to fill petrol in an ICE. That's the convenience of swapping that is being promised here.
The idea is solid and not just for Bounce. Being able to swap batteries easily means you don't have to wait for the usual 5 to 7 hour charge time, and 0 to 80% in 15 minutes etc. is not going to be part of your world. Bounce is tying up with all kinds of shops, malls, establishments etc. to offer charge pods like this one with multiple configurations available. But as is with most things, you will pay for the convenience even if you can avoid paying to own the battery itself on your Bounce if you like.
Now I have to admit that in school I wasn't the strongest mathematics student, and buying the Bounce today has a lot of mathematics involved, because there's the cost you'll pay to swap the battery, there's the cost you'll pay for subscription every month, and the cost that you'll pay upfront to get one of these things home. But luckily for me, Jehan Darukhanawala from Zig Wheels, he is good at mathematics, and he says you can get one of these home in Maharashtra for a minimum of about 46,000 rupees. At that point, you'll be paying 1,250 rupees a month in subscription charges. You'll pay 35 rupees every time you swap a battery. The most expensive version of this is about 70,000 rupees, at which point the subscription and all of these charges go away. And his math says that if you were to buy the scooter at the bottom price, if you were to pay the subscription and swap batteries 10 times a month, in the year, in the first 12 months that you live with the scooter, you will have ended up saving only 5,000 rupees. And about 14-15 months in, the 46,000 rupee scooter will actually be more expensive than the 70,000 rupee version of the Bounce. So now you know who to go to for mathematics at least, if not whether to bring the Bounce home or not. So let's talk about that. I can tell you from our experience today that this is a pretty pleasant scooter. Performance is moderate and it's supposed to be. It doesn't feel out of place. When the throttle works, it's a nice, smooth, refined experience. Tall riders, the grip will mess with your knees when you're in tight turns and the handlebars turned all the way. But that aside, there are no real big flaws here, assuming that the app works, that the swapping works, and of course that the scooter proves reliable. But as of today, this problem is so severe that I have to say, today is not the day for me to tell you to get one of these home. We are going to have to wait a month and a half for the final scooter to come with the final software, with the app, with actual swap stations, so that I can actually tell you what the experience will be like. So today, unfortunately, like a lot of EVs that we've tested before in this kind of prototype stage, that is a pause for me, and I'm hoping that in about a month and a half, we'll be able to press play. And until then, this is PowerDrift, 4 buttons for you. Thumbs up if you like the video, show it to your friends because this is important, subscribe and bell notification icon so that when we ride the final scooter, you'll get the real version of the picture. Until then, I'm gonna bounce.